Blake Griffin plans to re-sign with the Clippers and is not open to leaving, sources telling Basketball Insider. Doc Rivers echoing those sentiments, adding that he believes Griffin retires as a Clipper. Rivers is not open to trade talks on Griffin or Chris Paul, and he's not worried about either player walking away in July. Stephen A., does Blake owe the Clippers?
Yes, he does. First of all, let me say this. Blake is a star. He's box office. The Clippers should want to keep him. There's no doubt about that. He was hurt last year. I'm not going to hold his performance in the playoffs where he just averaged like 15 and 8. He was not healthy. He battled through. He missed 47 games last year, had a bevy of injuries. We understand that. The year before when he was playing and they got to Game 7 when they blew that Game 6 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and they were destined to face the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals, and they collapsed against the Houston Rockets. Blake Griffin averaged like 25, I think it was a 25, 12, and 6 that series. Blake Griffin's big time. There's no doubt about that. But the reason why I would say he owes the Clippers is because he's big time, but they have yet to play in the conference finals. Chris Paul is there. Chris Paul, and I keep saying this, and there's a distinction, and people disagree with it, feel free. Doesn't matter. Chris Paul is a 6-foot point guard. He's an orchestrator. He's a floor general. But when you are the Melos, the LeBrons, the Blake Griffins of the world, and people like that, whose size and athleticism are so imposing that you can make that kind of a difference, you've got to deliver the goods. And the fact that you haven't yet should be a bane in your existence to some degree. When you look at the Golden State Warriors and what has transpired now that they've got Kevin Durant, where are you going? I mean, Blake Griffin, the only conceivable place that he could go where you legitimately couldn't knock him, Max, if he were to get up and leave and go to Oklahoma City to join Russell Westbrook. And as great as I think Russell Westbrook is, as phenomenal of an athlete and a talent as he is, from a point guard's perspective, why would you go to him when you got Chris Paul? That, to me, is the difference. And so as a result of that, I stay put where I'm at. I got Doc Rivers as my coach. I got Chris Paul as my point guard. I got DeAndre Jordan, who is a skywalker and a phenomenal athlete at the center position. I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to roll the dice, and I think the Clippers may very well end up having the best chance to knock off the Golden State Warriors than anybody in the Western Conference, and that includes San Antonio. But that only exists if you keep Blake Griffin in tow. And if I'm the Clippers, you sign him to a long-term extension, you don't lose him. But if I'm Blake Griffin, I don't think about leaving. The Clippers have unfinished business, and it's got his name written all over it, just like CP3's.
So the Clippers do have a chance to beat Golden State, because the other day we were arguing about that. I said Clippers fans are going to believe that they have a chance to beat Golden State. You said no.
They have a chance.
Oh, okay.
They have a chance. I don't believe they will.
I'll tape on that.
They have a
from the other
chance.
day. Look,
you know that?
I agree with you that it made sense for him to re-sign, because where else is he going to go? Boston, maybe you would say they need a superstar, maybe, but you ain't leaving L.A. with comparable talent to go to Boston. It's just it's a better lifestyle. Okay. I get that. But the idea that he owes this franchise anything, to me, is ridiculous. First of all, an NBA player has no choice where they get drafted. He gets drafted to this team. They sign him to a rookie contract. You're not getting paid your market value, all that stuff. He makes them a destination. You know, I mean, Chris Paul winds up on the team. The NBA seemed to kind of direct him to the Clippers, but you could see that there was no one ever thought about playing for the Clippers before if they had really had it. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, Blake's there and DeAndre's getting better. But really, Blake made them a destination. He made them relevant. I don't think he owes them anything, but I think they owe him. But I do think that signing with the Clippers was a good idea. He's injury prone. He's shown that. There's a lot of money that he can collect, that he can, you know, sign for and guarantee himself right now. And as you mentioned, when you look at the Western Conference, they have, of all the non-Warrior teams, they may have the best situation for him. And even if OKC did, Stephen A., he'd be trading up L.A. or trading down L.A. to go to Oklahoma City. I don't think a lot of people make that choice either. So it's a good idea for him to sign, but I don't think he owes them anything.
Max Kellerman, Blake Griffin made the Clippers a desirable destination. We understand that. So what do? they get CP3, they get Doc Rivers. You have the talent around you, and you don't finish the deal. Primarily due to injury, in all fairness to him. But you were there doing afternoon drive in L.A. You know some of those stories that was emanating out of there. Questions about the relationship with some of the players, whether it be CP3 or DeAndre Jordan. He punches some equipment manager, whoever it is, in the face because the dude was teasing him about how Blake wasn't winning and wasn't getting it done, and you overreact and hurt your hand and you're out for weeks because of that. All of these things factor into the equation because at the end of the day, if you are the Blake Griffin we believe you to be, at one point or another over the course of your 6-year career, 3 times in which you advanced to the conference semifinals, you should have found a way to get it done. Some would argue. So when you look at it from that perspective, and then you look at the personnel that you have with you, and then you look at the coaching that you have with you, you look at the city that you're playing in, you look at how vulnerable the inept, moribund Los Angeles Lakers have become, and then you couple all of that with the fact that KD now went to Golden State to try to ensure that they're going to be the team to beat in the Western Conference for years to come. If you're Blake Griffin and you got that competitive fervor inside of you, then excuse me, you don't run from that challenge. And the best challenge is the challenge that you have right in front of your face, playing for the franchise you're playing for.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep. And he don't owe him. He don't owe him, Stephen A., but I agree with you. He should stay.
I think he owes him.
All right, let's leave it there.